I'm Dan Drake. This is Front Up on Geno TV and Channel 99. With us today is David Gray, the superintendent of the sewer department for the town of Nantucket, right? Something like that?
Yeah. Sewer director, yeah.
Sewer director. Glad to have you here, David. There's a lot going on underground.
There's an awful lot going on and a lot to talk about, and just let people know what's happening.
Yeah. Well, why don't you start with what you think is the most important thing?
All right, well, currently we have the C Street pump station undergoing a $6.6 million upgrade. Mm-hmm. That is our largest pump station, which handles about 85% of all the flow on the island. The last upgrade on that was done in the early 80s, so it was 30 years overdue.
And you have to keep it functioning while you're renovating it, right?
And what we have down there, and I don't know if I can get you some pictures or something or whatever, but we have a complete bypass system, an electric system that's backed up by a diesel pump system to automatically kick in if there's any kind of increase in flows or we lose power or whatever like that.
So does that function while you're renovating the main?
It does. We are completely on bypass right now. We've been on bypass for about a month. And it's operating well. The only problem is every 3 or 4 days we have to derag the pumps. And what I mean by rags is wipes. The baby wipes and the toilet flushable wipes. They are flushable, no doubt, but they don't go through pumps. So we have a big problem with wipes on the island.
Interesting. So when's that going to be done? C Street.
It's supposed to be done. That was a 365-day project, so it should be done. We're hoping May, June, somewhere. Right now we're right about on schedule.
Before the summer.
Before the summer. Oh yeah, we'll be online before then.
Good.
So.
And then you have a sewer installation going on, a major sewer installation.
We have the Shimo, Nantucket Harbor, and Plus project expansion going on, and we have finished Green Meadow. All the services have been put in, and all the mainline work's been done on Green Meadow. McLean Lane, Tashma Lane, those are all completed as far as mainline sewer and laterals. They'll be getting final tested here shortly in the next month, and then able to go online so people will be able to connect. We have completed the brand new sewer main in Vesper Lane, the main line only. We're going to be going back and running all the laterals, but we have to stop all work as of Friday in any asphalt roads because the pavement, the asphalt plant shuts down.
Shuts down, right.
So today they're scrambling around to take and patch everything we have open and have final patching and paving in place by Friday. And then we're going to move on out to the Shimo area, anywhere there's a dirt road.
Where's that going to start? When's that going to start?
Well, it's going to start within another week or so. We're going to take and mobilize to Somerset and Marsh Hawks. That's all. Wherever there's a dirt road or gravel is where we're going next.
It makes sense. So you don't have to pave.
So we don't have to pave anything, and then we'll start, as soon as the plant opens back up in either end of April or May, we'll start getting back into the paved roads until May. So
how long is this project going to take?
This one's a 500-day project.
500 days.
So
almost 2 years.
Almost 2 years, yeah.
But the plus piece of it, the sort of Vesper Lane East, or that part of it that'll be done in the spring, or
the plus pieces, which is Meadowview, Hussey Farm, Pondview, and all those in that whole subdivision. Basically, the town's filling in the areas that are completely surrounded by sewer now. For reasons unknown to me, why they weren't done originally or whatever. So now we're filling everything in, and we're leaving future capacity for anything beyond Meadowview, Hussey Farm, towards Hummock Pond or towards Hawthorne or whatever like that. So we're leaving manholes and expansion for future moving forward.
There was a lot of talk when it was first renovated about the sewer plant itself and its capacity. And there was concern about overloading it with new connections as a result of new connections, not the seasonal flow, but the new connections. Is that still a concern?
It is a concern, and we're currently underway with an $8.8 million upgrade project there. And that project, that's the upgrade that's going on there, is mainly for process control to be able to handle and treat those extra flows. We're still, our permit is 4 million gallons a day right now. Normally we see anywhere between 1.7 and 2.2. We very rarely go over 2.5 million gallons a day currently, unless we have a lot of rain. We still do have some II problems, inflow and infiltration problems, that will bump up our numbers. Or if we have a big storm down and it floods all of Hulbert Avenue or whatever, we'll get a big inflow. But as far as capacity now, we still have capacity. We are going to be doing a sewer master plan here in the coming months, within the next year, to start to look at the big subdivisions like the Larrabee property or Richmond Group and stuff like that, so that we can take in. Those flows were already in originally, especially the needs areas. They're already calculated. These are the expansions to areas that weren't in those districts.
The Richmond and the Larrabee and so forth.
Larrabee and stuff. The Larrabee property, it's in the needs area. It's in the Hummock Pond South.
Right.
So that capacity and flow was already done. The Richmond Group was already based on part of the needs area for the well protection zone. So all those flows have been calculated into the numbers. It's anything beyond.
All right. So if it was extended out past the Vesper Lane line was extended past Meadowview, that would not have been counted or has that been counted too?
Some of the lots on either Hawthorne or Vestal Street, there's houses that are all surrounded by sewer, but they either aren't in the district now or they were just recently added after 2010. Those numbers now are some of the other numbers that we're looking at, and we're still doing okay. As long as we can start to cut down more of the II, for every gallon of II we take out, it gives us more capacity coming in. So.
In terms of the sewer infrastructure, the older sewer infrastructure, some of that was replaced downtown back in the two aughts, as they say.
Yes.
But it didn't go far enough, apparently, in terms of dealing with the
Phase 2B went somewhere up Fair Street, went all through Hulbert Avenue and all those areas, and it still needs to go further. They had plans for a Phase 3, a Phase 3C, or whatever, and they kind of got put on the back burner for that, just so we need to plan for those areas. Currently, we have a contract with National Water Main, which I'm sure people have seen the big trucks out there, camera, they're doing a CCTV inspection of all of our mains within the 1912 areas, the 1920 circuit areas, and then the bigger corridors that lead out of town to inspect everything, to see what shape everything's actually in. We found some pretty major issues in some spots, and we just had one spot on North Liberty Street. We had to dig it up right away because the road was starting to cave in because the pipe was basically gone and completely shattered. It was old clay tile. So we're finding troubling issues that some we didn't know, some that we've known of. And one big plus with the camera work, and we just purchased a camera truck for the town, is say if you call for a sewer backup, we go run the line. Next week you call, or another week could call, and we're constantly just running the line. We don't know what's wrong. So now we have that capability to see, okay, we ran the line once, let's go check it out. Do we have a root? Do we have a collapse? Do we have a lateral that was installed that sticks too far into the main that's blocking flow?
Does that happen a lot?
It does. There are some older stubs, laterals that come in, and they stick in 2 inches or 3 inches, and it just catches everything that goes by. A lot of tile pipe. A lot of this whole area where we are now is all clay tile.
When was it put in?
Most of this area was circa 1912 and 1920s. So we're finding a lot. And then there's some stretches of road that have clay tile pipe that were put in the 20s or 30s that looks brand new until you get to one crack, and then now it's completely infiltrated with roots.
Roots are a big problem in sewers, aren't they?
Roots are a very big problem in sewers, especially with the clay tile, because after 20, 30 years, the cement used on all the joints goes away, just disintegrates, and then the roots get in and they're looking for water and plenty of nutrients. So, and every time we have a dry season, we have more sewer problems because the roots are seeking the water.
Interesting. What else? Is there anything else that's
the sewer department was separated out from the DPW in November of last year. So we're just a little over a year old, our department. I became director of November of 16 and 17, I'm sorry.
So you report directly into town administration?
I report directly to Libby, and we have a crew right now of 13, which still, with all the expansion going on, we're still going to be shorthanded. I mean, we have to maintain 2 wastewater plants. There's currently 15 pump stations. We're adding 2 more brand new ones, so we'll have 17 pump stations. We're adding another 20 miles of sewer mains. So you probably see our trucks quite often roaming around.
How many people are required to run the wastewater plants?
We're mandated by state regulations just for our plant alone to have 9. That doesn't count all your collections, the other treatment plant,
right,
and so forth. So how
many in the Wisconsin treatment plant?
That's usually manned by one person in the wintertime, and in the summertime, we usually have a person out there 4 or 5 days a week to help, depending on what's going on out there. Constant maintenance. I mean, the plant in Wisconsin was built in 2005.
Right.
So consistently we have maintenance going on. Some of our older pump stations are 20, 30 years old. Consistently we now have a dedicated maintenance crew, something we never had before. So we actually have 3 mechanics that constantly just pull pumps apart.
The numbers don't add up. 9 in the sewer plant, 3 in the mechanical unit.
So I mean, that puts us basically at our limit right now. And with new technology and newer vehicles, we have, like I said, we just bought the CCTV truck with the Schimel project. So that's going to require 1 or 2 people dedicated. So hopefully down the line, I'll seek further and more employees to see if we can just to maintain what we've got and what's coming on. We have 1 admin staff right now. Our office opened in April. That was something we didn't have as well. So it's been a lot of change over.
Do you think it was a good idea to separate it from DPW?
I think it was I think there's so much on the DPW, from cemeteries, fences to mowing to streets to. I think it was good to separate it. And
so you're not driving a snowplow anymore.
No, our crew still does. We're supplemental drivers because we still have some of the larger trucks, so we do help the DPW, and we're still one family. No matter how you look at it, we're all one team,
right?
And working together and just trying to get everything done. And I'm doing a lot of work lately with the water company. They're doing a lot of replacements, and we're trying to go into the project at the same time as them, save the town substantial money, and dig up the road once, get it done, and then pave it, and don't have to go back for 20 years.
Would you care to make a prediction about the Matticat project? Do you think that's going to happen or not?
I would say at some time it's going to come back. There's no doubt. But I think the most important thing is to get some more of the data. Get some of the data that was used in the past was the models maybe have used insufficient or inaccurate data.
Or we're old. They're just old.
And so now we've actually got more data and new current data. Let's put that new data into the same models and see what happens. It could say we're in bigger trouble than we are. It could say that we're in great shape. Something happened this year. The scallops are there. And it's not going to be just one thing.
Right.
It's like the Schimel project in Mount Monomoy. They sewered it and they saw some changes, but then they did the jetties. So and then they've cleaned up stormwater. It's going to be a multi-phase.
It's at the margins. You're cutting down on at the margins, in my opinion, anyway.
One of my fears was if we had done the Matticat project and would spent $80 million on it and nothing changed, I would have been hung from a tree somewhere.
Well, I think there have been a couple of people in line ahead of you,
but it's we need that data. We need to think it all. We just can't. We have to look outside the box, and I do that a lot. And just focus on everything at once. Let's if we're going to dig up a road, let's not just put sewer in, then come back in 2 years do water or electric or something like that. Let's try to do it all coordinated with each department, and that's working now.
Good. Well, it's important because you got the DPW, the water department, and
so we have to look at the water company's projections out 10 years, and then we have our projections, and then we have to work with Rob and look at their asphalt management projections or where they want to pave a road or whatever like that. And some of the stuff we want to eliminate in the future may be road cuts. It's if we put a brand like Vesper Lane, we put a brand new 12-inch sewer line in there. We're running 6-inch to the property lines, and there'll be no digging the road up for 5 or 6 years, if at all. We just need to the town needs to just start to manage some of the projects a little better, and we're getting there.
That's great.
It's been a long time coming, and it's goes slow, but we're getting there.
And you wear pretty sharp shirts too.
Yeah, we definitely taken. It's safety is so key, and the rules are changing, the laws are changing, and with confined space that we do, arc flash safety, we're in the roadways. You have to have certain colors and certain size stuff. So for the roadway stuff, so we want to be seen. We're not, if you see the sewer department and all the guys in the orange jackets in the middle of the street, they're either doing preventative maintenance or something happened. We're not just setting up to hang out for a while.
Great job, DavidGray. Thank you very much.
David
Gray, Superintendent of the Sewer Department of the town of Nantucket.
Thank you.